take Wolverine's out of your mouth.
That's kid.
Guiltily, that is my daughter,
He
Inez.
gleefully is about to admit it, and it's worse.
I am father of the year over here for allowing her to
I
say
don't know
such
if
language.
she even understand what it means. Probably not when you're 7 years old.
Because absolutely no person, I don't care how funny you think you are in Hollywood, would want their precious daughter, of all people, to make comments about Hugh Jackman's being in their father's mouth.
Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds in trouble for using their kids in gross, manipulative ways. What on earth happened to our beloved Ryan Reynolds, the ever-charming, wisecracking superstar everyone adores?
Hey, when I want your opinion, I'll take Wolverine's out of your mouth.
That's kid.
Guiltily, that is my daughter,
I'm
Inez.
so sorry we have to admit that.
And I am father of the year over here.
Well, rumor has it, he might have pushed the cool dad boundary into cringe territory, and people are shook. Reynolds allegedly involved one of his daughters in a shockingly explicit moment during a film project.
Who would understand that she has to scream at someone saying that, when I want your opinion, I will take your best friend's private parts out of your mouth, daddy.
Yes, you read that right. Complete with jaw-dropping dialogue no parent would want their kid reciting. Now, the internet's ablaze. Fans are clutching their pearls, and Hollywood is side-eyeing the Deadpool actor like never before.
What Ryan Reynolds forced his daughter to do on Deadpool is one of the most abhorrent things I have ever heard of.
So how did the man behind that endless stream of witty tweets and comedic ad-libs end up at the center of an exploitation scandal involving his own daughter? Let's rewind.
Would you believe me if I told you that according to this Deadpool script, the disgusting lines Kidpool said that's going viral was actually the best option available?
For years, Ryan Reynolds and Blake Lively cultivated a squeaky-clean image of parental perfection. Paparazzi snapshots showed them strolling with strollers, or delighting fans with cameo appearances at glamorous events, never a hair out of place. Together, they were the it couple, equally beloved for their star power and their seemingly lighthearted approach to family life.
It's either Kidpool says,
Hey, when I want your opinion, I'll take Wolverine's out of your mouth.
or she says, hey, when we want your opinion, I'll take my panini out of your mouth.
Then cracks started appearing. First came allegations that the couple used their children as scheduling shields on film sets and press tours. According to sources, anytime Ryan or Blake wanted to postpone production or rearrange an entire shooting schedule for personal reasons, they'd trot out a kid crisis story.
You discovered that one of the dates that Blake Lively called out sick from work for Ends With Us, the Vegas shoot that they were supposed to be, you did the homework. You went and saw it. The sick day was them going to the Eras tour? This is real?
Someone has strep throat, a child is too sick to travel, or the entire household is on lockdown with the flu. While nobody doubts children do get sick, it was the frequency and timing that set off alarm bells. Some skeptics argued that other cast and crew members also have families, yet they aren't pulling the same stunts.
You know, I have a lot of people coming back to me with, it's Taylor Swift, I would have done the same thing, or I would have canceled. My parents used to cancel to take me and my brother to Six Flags, and I'm like, man, your mom calling out of her credit union job to take you and your brother to Six Flags is not the same thing as the star of a production calling out of an out-of-town shoot to be at an Eras tour, which my research shows she went to 7 different ones.
But the bigger bombshell? An alleged behind-the-scenes commentary surfaced where Ryan reportedly bragged, yes, bragged, about how he convinced his daughter to deliver a highly explicit piece of dialogue for a cameo.
Seriously, if there are any lawyers in the house, let me know. Am I able to sue Sherry Panini and Ryan Reynolds? Am I able to sue them for what they did to this child?
The line in question wasn't just a casual curse word or an age-appropriate quip. It was a graphic reference to an adult act involving Wolverine. Let that sink in for a second. We're talking R-rated territory, basically the last place you'd expect a child's voice to pop in. According to rumors, Ryan's daughter initially refused to say the line because, well, even kids can sense when something's majorly inappropriate.
To her credit, she really didn't want to say, and then came back later and said, I want to say it now, when I started looking at other people to play.
But Daddy Deadpool apparently sweetened the pot, telling her if she wouldn't do it, he'd find another kid who would. That's right. It's alleged he basically threatened to recast his own daughter's cameo, thus playing on her fear of losing a special spot in Daddy's film. If that's how it went down, it's not exactly a great look. In one account, the director chimed in, revealing they had the child record upwards of 70 different takes of that borderline X-rated line. Yikes.
Yeah, but Ryan, to our discredit, we made Nezzy do, I'm not shitting you, 70 to 500 versions of that line.
Yeah.
Parents across social media have been losing it, calling the move exploitative, disturbing, and completely nuts. Even fans who adore Reynolds are raising eyebrows, feeling like the comedic star might have let his brand of irreverent humor cross into questionable parenting territory. And let's not forget the confusion over how this cameo even made the final cut.
Okay, I just assumed, like, this is not something that you have to investigate any further, because there is no father in his right mind who would want a scene in which his daughter makes a, I guess, homosexual joke about the relationship between him and this Wolverine character who we're starting to have questions about their relationship in real life. Well, it turns out that I was wrong. I was very wrong on this.
Hollywood is stuffed with voice actors who can mimic childlike voices, so it's a mystery why Reynolds insisted on using his actual kid. Was it a misguided attempt at family bonding, or a showy demonstration of comedic bragging rights? Like, look, my daughter is so cool, she's in on the joke? We don't know, but if the story is legit, it's no wonder so many folks are unsettled.
I was aware that the kid said some highly inappropriate things, but I had assumed that the kid was in the costume and they likely used either a voice actor or an AI voice tool to say some of those things.
As if that wasn't enough, eagle-eyed fans have dug up other instances where Ryan and Blake appear to publicly leverage their children to score some kind of advantage or perk. One popular example making the rounds involves the couple repeatedly calling out sick from high-stakes film shoots, only to be spotted at big entertainment events days later, like major concerts or parties. People who track celebrity schedules notice some suspicious coincidences. At least one time, Blake apparently claimed she was too ill to film, yet not long after, she was happily rocking out at a star-studded music show with her kids in tow. Again, no one begrudges a parent from enjoying special outings with their children. The problem is that entire productions, costumers, makeup artists, camera operators, even caterers, lose out when a lead actor bails at the last minute. Canceling a day of shooting is not just a mild inconvenience. It's money, time, and countless people's paychecks on the line.
She actually compared the text messages and the dates that was in Justin Baldoni's lawsuit, where he points out that, Blake Lively was sick a lot during that shoot. And he pointed out, and she pointed out those dates and showed the text messages when they were sent. And then she showed a photo of Blake Lively with her kids at the Eras tour, and apparently she had been to 7 of Taylor Swift's concerts.
If your job is to show up on set, it's a huge deal to vanish or postpone a schedule because you feel under the weather, only for the crew to see you plastered on social media hours later, living your best life in a VIP area somewhere. Oof. The swirling speculation about all this has fans and observers questioning. Are Ryan Reynolds and Blake Lively truly the doting parents they claim to be, or do they brandish their children as excuses whenever it's convenient? One cynic joked on social media, "At this point, if Ryan says they need to reschedule for a parent-teacher conference, I'm half expecting to see him popping champagne at some Hollywood gala." That might be extreme, but it highlights the growing mistrust. To complicate matters, some fans have tried to defend the couple, pointing out that celebrities have a right to privacy and that raising kids in showbiz can't be easy. True enough. Yet critics argue that privacy and exploitation are two very different things.
Well, she called out sick on the 8th and she went to the concert on the 12th. So 4 days in between, somebody could have recovered. And I'm like, well, then she should have made arrangements to be in Vegas.
Yep.
And they're like, well, what if she had childcare? She's rich enough to have childcare on the jet with her in Vegas. And whoever was watching her kids that allowed her to be at the Eras tour could have been in Vegas watching the kids while she filmed.
It's one thing to shield your kids from paparazzi or keep them out of the public eye. It's another to rope them into R-rated punchlines or trot them out whenever you want to shift a production schedule. Then there's the angle that possibly the kids themselves enjoy cameo appearances or fancy concerts. Perhaps the daughter wanted to mimic her dad's comedic flair, and maybe these endless errands to see high-profile events make for a cherished family memory. But many find that argument naive. A child can't fully understand the consequences of hooking their voice to an explicit adult joke forever memorialized in a film commentary track. Kids might love the idea of a cameo, not realizing it could land them at the center of a scandal or come back to haunt them when they're older. The biggest whiplash for fans is how swiftly Ryan's lovable image seems to be unraveling.
I did a film with an absolute idiot of a co-star, and this human being was being so insecure and angry because this person couldn't get the scenes out.
This is the guy known for witty spats with Hugh Jackman, charitable donations, and viral stunts that had the world cackling. So the notion of him pressuring a child to say a borderline lewd line, then bragging about it, feels like a betrayal of that carefully curated comedic brand. Some cynics, however, say there's always been a hint of an edge to Ryan's humor. Deadpool's entire shtick is about pushing boundaries, so maybe this was bound to happen. Meanwhile, rumor also has it that big players in Hollywood have taken notice. Casting directors and producers who once saw Reynolds and Lively as absolute marketing gold might be reconsidering if the duo is worth the drama. The film industry is famously risk-averse these days. A star's personal baggage can tip the scales when multi-million-dollar budgets and squeaky-clean brand partnerships are on the line. Sure, controversy can sometimes help a star's profile, but family-based controversy? That's a tougher sell.
All of the lengths that he and Blake Lively went to destroy Justin Baldoni, how even now they're filing these ridiculous motions to dismiss, claiming victimhood, pretending like they didn't do anything wrong, still lying on Justin Baldoni, saying that he is a sexual predator.
All of this is swirling amid an environment where more people are speaking out about questionable behavior in the entertainment business. We've seen major shifts in how the public and industry folks respond to allegations of exploitation, even if it's couched in a comedic context. That means Ryan's not likely to shrug this off with a simple, "oops, my bad." If the allegations continue to gain steam, he may face real backlash, both from fans and from colleagues behind the scenes. Of course, nobody wants to cancel a comedic icon overnight. Some fans are praying for a thoughtful explanation or an apology from the couple.
I want you to listen to what he says here very carefully.
More eloquently than I have. So there are so many people who have loved this film into this exact moment, and I am so eternally grateful to those people, many of whom are sitting in this room or standing here on the stage, one of whom is not. And I just want to start by saying thank you to my wife, Blake, who's here. I want to thank my kids, James, Inez, Betty, Olin, who are here. I hope that, if I'm lucky, this moment will be the most traumatic thing that is in the contents of this movie that happens in your wondrous life. But I love that my entire family is here. I want to thank...
Perhaps Ryan could say, "I messed up. I was trying to be funny and I pushed it too far." In a world where stars rehabilitate their images with the right words and a sincere approach, the door to redemption is always open. But so far, there's been radio silence. Meanwhile, the conversation about celebrity kids looms large. Where do we draw the line between fun cameo and inappropriate exploitation?
And so he brought his young children to watch this rated R movie, Deadpool, okay? And they're going to sit there and watch the entire movie. It's vulgar. It is full of homophobic jokes. There is non-stop D-jokes. Non-stop jokes. Again, these are jokes about essentially assaulting Wolverine. This is not a film that children should be watching, let alone be in.
The fact is, child labor laws in Hollywood exist for a reason. However, they primarily cover official on-set filming, not cameo voiceovers or commentary stunts that slip under the radar. Some folks are now calling for a re-examination of these loopholes, especially as more parents run YouTube channels, Instagram accounts, or brand deals featuring their minor children, like a mini entertainment industry within itself. Ryan's controversy might become an unfortunate poster case for why stricter guidelines are needed. In the middle of all this chaos, it's easy to overlook the kids themselves, who didn't ask to be a headline.
And also, he admits in one of these post-Deadpool interviews that not only did he force her to say it, but that she was not comfortable with the line.
One of Ryan's daughters was coaxed into delivering lines that are absolutely not age-appropriate. Another moment saw them being paraded at star-studded concerts after the family supposedly canceled scheduled work commitments. And somewhere in all of this is a child who might be confused by how grown-up politics are overshadowing her usual bedtime stories and cartoons. So what happens next? Will Ryan attempt to deflect the allegations with humor? Release a cheeky statement on social media? Possibly. This is the guy who once turned an entire mayonnaise brand into a comedic bit. But these accusations strike at the heart of parenting choices. And that's not an easy comedy pivot. Observers are watching closely to see if studios or brand partners continue championing him as the face of family-friendly entertainment, or if they quietly distance themselves. It's a messy situation, to say the least.
And they want us to believe that Justin Baldoni is the creep in all of this. This is running parallel to him shouting at Justin Baldoni in a penthouse about his wife being uncomfortable. He's basically looking at his 7-year-old and being like, well, if you're not gonna have what it takes to read this line, which happens to be about, you know, Wolverine's penis, then I'll just go find another actor.
And this meltdown has fans reeling. How do you square the fun dad who roasts his own superhero persona with these claims of pressuring a child into provocative banter, plus scheduling fiascos that apparently left entire crews scrambling? Rumors of a squeaky-clean facade in the Lively Reynolds household keep piling up, and while some loyal supporters remain ready to defend them, others are appalled, writing lengthy threads and op-eds about the exploitative underbelly of Hollywood families. Ultimately, the truth might be more complicated than one viral rumor can convey. Maybe Ryan Reynolds never meant any harm, and his comedic brand blurred the lines of good judgment. Maybe Blake Lively's illusions of parental perfection overshadowed simpler ways to juggle family obligations. But as the conversation stands, the couple has a lot of explaining to do if they want to salvage that "we're the best parents ever" narrative. For now, the accusations aren't going away. Hollywood stands in shock as more people question the morality of letting a minor child voice R-rated lines and bailing on film sets under the pretext of family emergencies. If the silence from the Lively Reynolds camp lingers, it may only fan the flames of suspicion. One thing's certain, this is a saga that's nowhere close to a happy Hollywood ending. The comedic meltdown that was once Ryan's beloved brand might have just taken a hard left turn into uncomfortable territory, and Tinseltown is waiting to see if he'll find a way to make it right, or if his glowing father figure image is about to fade to black.